Korbo. Namaskar, I am Shumana Mukherjee, your tour facilitator for today, and you can call me Shumana for your convenience. I hope you have a safe journey. Now, this is just a 1.5 kilometers drive from Kolkata, and it's just a stretch of 65 kilometers. And as I know that you are right on in time, as I promised you, I will take you to a very unique place which is very own to Bengal. And I will increase your excitement a little bit because I know that all of you are bubbling with all kind of excitements. Now, when we hear about terracotta, the ancient art of Bengal, so we normally think about the Archala temples of several gods and goddesses. Do you ever heard about terracotta mosque? And yes, here we are today at Adi Shaktagram, which is just 65 kilometers drive from Kolkata at Syed Jamaluddin Mosque. So today I will take you here, and one more thing I would like to know that as I told you yesterday night that the weather is very hot and extremely humid, so I hope all of you are carrying your water bottle, sanitizers, your mask, your sunglasses, right? Because you can see it's scorching sun. So okay, so all of you have got this. So let's go and check out this wonderful creation, and which is approximately 500 years old. So this is basically the entrance of the mosque. Once this was the entrance of the mosque, and you will see certain inscriptions over here in Arabic. Like this mosque was built by Syed Jamaluddin, but very little is known about this person. This is only known that this was built around 500 years back, and this is you can come inside. You will actually understand if you can just come a little closer. You will see this integrated panels of terracotta. So the difference of this kind of terracotta panels is with our Hindu temples are a little bit like in a mosque you cannot have figurines or anything like that. So these are mainly floral and geometric patterns. So come with me. So guys, this is actually the prayer complex of this mosque. This mosque, once upon a time, it was near about 14 meters broad and 14 meters in width and 9 meters broad. And these three are the mihrabs. This is the main mihrab. This is the one more mihrab, and this is the one more mihrab. And come closer. Don't come much closer because there are some honeybees over here. Just have a look at this integrated terracotta work. These are all, and one more thing, a very prominent pattern of Islamic Bengal or rather Islamic Indo-Islamic culture is the inverted lotus. Lotus is basically a Hindu symbol, and you will get in most of the ancient Islamic architectures you will find this this kind of lotus everywhere, and these are all inverted. Like in Hindu temples, you will get it. The petals are upside, and in any Islamic architecture, the petals of this any of the architecture is inverted back. This is the main mihrab. See this, the entire pattern of this mosque is. You can understand because we are this part of India is. In the this is the alluvial part of the Gangetic part, so rocks are really less available, so mud and clays are in abundance. So when this Islamic rulers came to India and this part of the country, so they decided that whatever they will build by mud or clay, and then slowly and gradually the culture of using burnt bricks started. And the very interesting fact about this place is, or rather the Mosque of Bengals are, Mosque of Bengals predate the terracotta temples of Bengal. That is the best part of it. Now this is what about, I will just take a tour, just come and just take a tour of this mosque. So once this is probably the height of the mosque. The dome has totally vanished. There was a humongous dome over here, and you can see the height of this place. So this come with me, only one minaret of this temple, of this mosque is left. Now this minarets are actually decorative. This was not used for doing the azans and all that. This is just a decorative piece to to make this place look beautiful. So this is a wonderful piece of architecture, and you can see this small floral murals over here. They are very integrated, very specific and very sharp. Even after 500 years they are still the same. So right now this is the only remain of this huge mosque, and I must say that this is one of the oldest mosque in Bengal. Okay, so there are three, you can just take a very nice close-up of this particular part because these are very clear. So you can actually understand these are all made by hands. These are, there was no molds or this kind of stuff 500 years back, and all of these are made by hand. So how advanced and how skillful these artisans were, you can understand. Okay, now you can see that there are three, there's a burial ground over there. So these burials are basically, locals, as per locals, it is said that these are the burials of Jamaluddin's parents. So the middle one is a female, grave, and the bigger one is man with a royal man's grave. The other one, it's little controversial. We really don't know whose grave is this, but definitely this is not Jamaluddin's grave, and you can find out now. This information about this grave, we have got a very little information on these Arabic inscriptions you have over here. These are the Arabic inscriptions you are having, and this inscription say that this mosque was built by Sayyid Jamaluddin and his family members are buried over here. So whom these are, probably we assume that this is his father's grave and this is his mother's grave, but the other one we really don't know whose is this, but people say that probably this will be somebody of very near and dear to their family. And you can take a very nice view of the mosque from here if you just turn around with me. So this is the mosque complex, the remains of the mosque complex rather, not the entire mosque complex, because this mosque was a huge one, and now only this much is left, and this property is currently, this particular monument is under ASI surveillance, and ASI is really doing a good work with this. Now we are here at this mosque. This is the only remains of what we want to know about this place, but this is just the tip of the iceberg, because this small piece of land holds a very, very rich history. This is basically a port town. This holds a history of more than 2000 years. The older name, like the Shoptagram, means it is a combination of 7 villages. Like mythologically, it is believed that there was a saint king of Kannauj. His 4 sons left their palace for sainthood, and they settled, beside Tribeni, which is very near. And they have settled in 7 villages, and that 7 villages slowly and gradually became Shoptagram. So 7, Shoptam means 7, and Gram means village. And in older days, the Shoptagram was known as Sadgaon. Now, mention of Sadgaon is there in Mauryan inscriptions, and it is mentioned that this was a very flourishing port, because the Saraswati River, which is dried up right now, supported this place a lot to develop as a very dominating port town. Now, this Sadgaon also came into prominence once the biggest port of East India, Tamralipto, was declining. Now, Tamralipto is very nearby. It is currently, the place is known as Tomluk, and this particular place has actually seen everything. They have seen the Mauryans. Even Ibn Battuta came over here. Ptolemy mentioned this place in his book. Even the person whom we say he is the Mad King, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, actually made this place capital of a portion of Bengal, and this was actually a mint town, and here silver coins used to get printed. Now, once Saraswati drained out from this area and moved its course and dried up, then the prominence of this place actually got reduced, and by reducing on this the port of Hooghly and Kolkata developed. So the saddest part is, one thing, right now, there is no remains or no evidence of this glorious past. A few years back, from a certain foreign archaeological institute, they did a very extensive excavation over here, and they find, few parts of, remains of this ports, like the anchors and everything, but that is also now under they are actually, it's still under research that, how old those are and all those. But yes, if at all something can be found out from this place, it will be a gold mine for history, like for Indian history. We are hoping the best for that. But for now, we are done from here, and probably we will be taking you to a wonderful place, because Bengal is rich. Bengal is the hidden gem. Bengal is definitely sweet, but Bengal at certain times can surprise you in any way and every way. Thank you so much. Let us get back to our coach. We need to leave for Calcutta. Thank you.